Welcome back to the New York Sports Exchange, episode number 152. And it is our third annual hockey preview. We have Jake Zaretsky on. So here is the outlook for these next couple of episodes. If you're looking for college football content, NFL content, the Jets firing Robert Saleh, the Giants getting a big win, Alabama losing, that will be on Thursday's episode. We will be doing Thursday's episode for college football and the NFL and MLB playoffs, with both the Mets and the Phillies series tied at one apiece. By the time it'll come out on Thursday, it will be at least to game 4. So, yeah, and then all the hockey content is going to be today. We'll be giving our top 3 in each division, our Stanley Cup champions, Hart Trophy, Calder Trophy, Norris Trophy, Vezina Trophy winners, and all that fun stuff. So without further ado, without wasting any time, our third annual hockey preview with Jake Zaretsky. Enjoy, guys. All right. It's that time of year again. It is that time of year. Hockey preview. Year number 3. Hard to believe that we are at year number 3. We are joined by Jake. Matt's disappeared. I was excited to hear what he's been up to, because we were going to do a quick little life update, nothing.
Really, it's really tough.
I was looking forward to hearing what Matt has been up to.
You're giving him the pass. He didn't even pick up the call. I mean, this was just a no-show.
Nothing.
You're giving him a hall pass here, buddy. Lay it on a little bit.
I mean, he was the first to fucking answer in the group chat when I was like, "Hey, we're doing this," and then he was like, "Yup, I'm down." He was the first one to answer.
Yeah, but what does that really even mean? What does that really even mean?
I guess it means nothing now. I guess it means nothing now. Tim, I still can't get over how you're wearing a fucking Red Sox hat on this New York podcast.
Just get over it.
You're
just get over
disgusting.
it.
That's fucking disgusting.
I'm a Mets fan. I get to do this. I get to do this.
Yeah. Well, Schmo thought differently. Anyway, he thought differently. All right. So here we go. We're going to do the same thing we did last year. We're going to give our top 3 in each division. We're going to give our wild card, Hart Trophy, Calder Trophy, Vezina Trophy, Norris Trophy predictions. We're all going to do this as quickly as possible due to the fact that the Yankees are on in about 50 minutes. So there's that. Game 2 is tonight. So
go Royals.
Fuck off.
I'm kidding.
I'm rooting for the Mets, Tim.
I'm kidding. Stan, I'm kidding. It was a joke.
God.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
You disgust me. Wearing that fucking terrorist organization.
All right. Let's get to hockey.
Are we doing hockey? Let's go, gentlemen.
Yeah, all right. We're doing hockey. All right. First things first. Jake, it's been a while. How we been? You got your bachelor's.
Yeah, no, I graduated. First of all, thank you.
Congratulations.
I want to apologize to the both of you and lovely fans here about my setup. Sure, I'm laying in bed. It's just it was a long day of work. I thought maybe 6:30, give myself enough time. I got here and I realized that there was nowhere for me to set up. So here I am on the framework. It's not great, but we're going to. No, things have been great. Family's good. Friends are good. I had a great weekend with football and the NFL. So I'm really just getting in gear here. The NHL season technically already started over in Europe with the Devils and the Sabres, but tomorrow we got 4:30 games, we got 7 o'clock games, we got 8 o'clock games. We're ready to go, and I'm really looking forward to Wednesday night Rangers Pittsburgh.
It's a bad time though for Tuesday, 1:30 hockey.
Is it a 1:30 start? Is that what
it's a 4:30 start here, but the game is in Seattle, so it starts at 1:30. Jesus Christ!
Not really sure what's going on out there.
All right. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start off with the Metropolitan Division. As I mentioned before, we're going to mention our top 3s, wildcard teams, if applicable, and outside teams looking in. So without further ado, let's get started with our number 1 team in the Metropolitan. Who do we all have? Let's all name it first and then give our reasoning. I have the Rangers. All right. I have the New York Rangers. They do add Sam Carrick and Riley Smith. They do lose Barclay Goodrow, Alex Wenberg, and Jack Roslovic. They didn't make a whole lot of changes. That kind of felt, Jake, I know you were very happy about Riley Smith being added to that Kreider and Zibanejad line. And that's one of my questions. How is Riley Smith going to pan out in this line with Kreider and Zibanejad? Because for the past 2-3 years, it's been a revolving door. It's been a revolving door at that spot.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, with the salary cap issues and the Buchnevich trade and everything that's been going on. I think Riley Smith kind of offers a nice taste of, I don't know, I think it's fresh air, but also at the same time, it's a guy who kind of gets it. He was with Pittsburgh last year, seeing him played in the division, wasn't really happy in Pittsburgh, and just really needed a fresh start. I thought he was awesome with Vegas during his time there. And he's someone who really could add a very, very nice bit of everything to the Rangers. He's got skill, he has size, he can move. I think he's a great option for that line. But, a lot of people were focused on, what the impact's going to be on Kreider. Really, it's not up to Riley Smith for that. If Mika and Kreider are going to be X factors this season, it's going to be on them. It's going to be Zibanejad looking to shoot the puck more. It's going to be Kreider looking to shoot the puck more. I get it. They're both two very unselfish players who have a lot of chemistry with each other. But we need to see the 35-plus goal scorer that Mika Zibanejad used to be. And it would be great if Chris Kreider can be in that same ballpark as
well. Tim, so was this your excuse for putting the Rangers at 1, Jake?
No. I don't think, we can go on about the Rangers. Obviously, you and I,
yes, we can.
I think last year was one of, if not the greatest seasons for me as a Rangers fan. Just looking back on memories and, everything that happened last season was just, it was a mirage, obviously, after it, concluded the final. But at the same time, do I think President's Trophy is likely? No. Do I think the Metro is still the Rangers to lose, technically? Yes, I do. I think just looking down, Devils are healthy this season going into it. They signed some nice guys as well. You can kind of get an idea of what all of our top three is going to be, but I think there will be some interesting ones in there as well. But I think the Rangers, this is their division to lose just because of what happened in the rest of the division. So I do have them as my pick, but I'm not going to be shocked if they're second, possibly in the third. They're going to be a top three team. I have them as first, but I'm not going to be surprised if it's another.
Okay, Tim, where do you lay?
I also have the Rangers at first in the Metro, but I do not want to go into it whatsoever and give them any props for it. So I'm not going to do that.
Fair enough. All right. Our number 2 team in the Metro. Let's all say it together. I bet we'll go one at a time, and then we'll each give our reasoning. Yes. I had the New Jersey Devils at number 2. They add Brett Pesce. They add Jacob Markstrom, Nosen, Tatar, Dillon. New coach, they add in Sheldon Keefe. Major upgrade in goal with Markstrom. A healthy number 1 defender in Dougie Hamilton. That's kind of where the Devils season started to really fall off, was when Dougie Hamilton was out for the year. And they have a top center group in the league with Hughes and Hischier and all them. They should be a shoo-in to make the playoffs. After what I saw in those 2 games in Prague on Saturday against Buffalo, this team looks different. I feel like it's a nice bounce-back year. They needed some structure with Sheldon Keefe. Now it's sort of... And even when Lindy Ruff got fired, I forget who the interim head coach was, but he did say, it's not like back then where, you bench a young guy for not playing well and just make him sit on the bench as punishment. Yeah. Like that, those days are no longer in Jersey. Mm-hmm. I think with the drop off, not the drop off, but with how many people left in Carolina and the kind of the weakness in the bottom half of the Metro, I think the Devils are perfect for that second spot. And I do have to say, we have our first award prediction of this preview. I have Jack Hughes winning the Hart Trophy, as much as it pains me to say this. I have Jack Hughes winning the Hart Trophy. I just think
that's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Well, sue me. 6 of the past 10 Hart Trophy winners have been centers. And I know what you're going to say with the whole McDavid and, you can even McDavid and McKinnon and Matthews even. But something is just telling me, and I hate to say it, something is just telling me that Jack Hughes is just going to have this big year, new coach with a new goalie. I just think that, unfortunately, the vibes are pretty high in Jersey. They're coming off of a year where they underperformed greatly, and They're going to have an MVP type performance from Jack Hughes, unfortunately.
I think staying on the Devils topic here, and I mean, it's up to you. Do you want to keep it like a one, for a second team, or do you want, I guess, maybe
You give
team?
you give your second. Yeah.
Second, sure. I have Carolina in the second spot. I think losing Jake Gensel is one thing, obviously. I mean, it came in as a trade deadline acquisition, which, Carolina, the whole thing was that they probably weren't going to be able to keep him, and that's understandable. I think most, I guess, the thing that I'm going to be watching the most in Carolina will be the two defensive swap that they did with Goss's and Walker coming in and Pesci and Shea coming out. I think that that's a very interesting thing to monitor as the season goes on, because that's two defensemen who are pretty much strong two-way players versus Shea Walker and Goss's are pretty much strictly offensive defensemen. So I think Carolina really has a nice scoring touch in the back end, which is something they kind of lost sight of last season with Burns not having a great year and Slave and Pesci weren't scoring as much. So I think that we're going to see a little bit more scoring from the back end of Carolina, which could be dangerous. I think Rajovic might have a nice year gelling with that offense as well. But I think trying to see Carolina inside that top two, just because they lost a bunch of guys, but they're one of those teams in the NHL, like Florida, like Tampa Bay, where the next man in the county is their motto, because of Rob Brennan and what he brings to the table. So I can see them comfortably being in that second spot. But I think things can change. I have a team in the third spot that I absolutely love. I'm all over them. I think every single team, everybody just doesn't believe in this team, but I love them in this spot. So that's my number two pick.
Something tells me your number 3 aligns with one of my teams that's outside looking in that I did like. If you were to tell me in like July or maybe even August, I'd have them in the top 3, but now they're in my outside looking in. Tim, you're number 2. Wow.
Was there a loud noise there? I apologize.
I heard a loud noise.
Anyway, I'll get to my number 2. My number 2 team is the New York Islanders. As much as you guys are going to underappreciate this, they finally get a full season with Patrick Waugh. Under last year, they were 12-5 to finish the season when he stepped in as head coach. The full effect is in. Maxim Tiplashov is going to be at least, I think, a 50-point getter this year. He's been fantastic in the preseason. The first line of Duclair, you give me these head shakes, but you guys really got to pay attention to what's going on in the New York Islanders right now.
I was watching. Duclair and Barzal look great. 50 points for Sablaka.
Yeah,
crazy. And
I don't know. Well, he was the top goal scorer in the KHL last year. He was the top goal scorer in the KHL last year.
So was Vitaly Kravtsov. Once
a long time ago.
Yeah, Kravtsov wasn't top 5 in the league in hits, though. So I think there's a different style of game there.
Continue with your point.
I like what they did in the offseason. They brought in Ilya Sorokin's old goalie coach from Russia. That's a 3 Russian system right now that they got working. I know he had a minor back surgery in the offseason. He's back on the ice. They're saying he looks fully healthy. I don't think he's going to start anytime soon. Give it to Varley because why not? He's also a fantastic option. They just have the depth. They finally got that goal scorer in Duclair. I guess goal scorer is a bit of a but that playmaker that can play in the first line. The defense looks deep. They're going to be healthy. Finally, Scott Mayfield's off that injury. I just think it's ready to go. They finally have the head coach to do it. The power play looks good in the preseason. They're ready to bash. I'm excited. I cannot wait to watch Islander hockey.
All right. Number 3. A team that was already mentioned. I have the Carolina Hurricanes. They add Jack Roslovic and Shane Goss. I always struggle. Goss to spare.
Ghost.
And Sean Walker. Yeah, Ghost, whatever. I mean, we heard Jake talk about it before. I have him in the 3rd spot rather than the 2nd spot just because of how many guys they lost. I mean, we know that they weren't going to get Jake Gensel, but, they lose Stefan Nosen, they lose Teuvo Teravainen, and Brett Pesci, Brady Shea. It feels like this team is just way too top-heavy, and I just don't think that there's enough juice on this roster for them to really make a run. They'll make the playoffs. I question if they get out of the first round. Big question if they get out of the first round.
Definitely. I mean, I think with Carolina, the reason why I kind of have them just like comfortably in the 2nd spot is because they're a very good regular season team, and we've.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. We've seen.
I think they're playing FIFA outside and going nuts.
we've seen Carolina do this year in and year out, where over the last probably 4 years or so, they've just developed very, very good regular season teams that are capable of putting 100 to 120 points on any given season. So I think playoffs definitely are a concern. But if we're looking at division standings, I can definitely just see them coming in a tier 3 spot. But with my third pick, a team that made the playoffs last year.
You're gonna say the Capitals, and I
listen. And Tim's right. My third pick is actually the Washington Capitals. And as Tim figures it out, I just
screamed. Don't worry, I let a warning out.
I have a lot of confidence in them just because of their head coach, Spencer Carberry. I think he's just the perfect coach for that team. Gets a lot of respect out of Ovechkin. They also have Charlie Lindgren, who was the best goaltender in the NHL in 1-goal games. Not sure if you guys know that. They Capitals struggled a lot with goal differential last year because they got blown out in games, and when they won, they were winning by 1 goal. And so that's a lot of their story. I know a lot of it was worst playoff team in NHL history, and you could definitely say that. But I do think with the moves that they made, Pierre-Luc Dubois scares me just because he's just
it's Pierre. It's Pierre.
Easily be
it hasn't worked anywhere.
Cancer.
What do you mean circled? That is the definition of one. It hasn't worked anywhere.
The thing is that no news has come out about him actually being. He just hasn't.
He's not a great agent.
They bring in Andrew Harvey, fresh start for him. I mean, players leaving Calgary have statistically shown growth regardless of where they are. Jacob Chikrin, one of their best signings in the offseason. Arguably, their best signing was Matt Waugh, getting him from LA. That was a steal. They got him on a great contract. He was one of the best analytical defensemen in the NHL last year. Love that pickup. And now they have a great, not good, great 1-2 punch with Charlie Lindgren and Logan Thompson in net. I just think this team can score, and they can actually score a lot going forward this season. I think if they can balance last season's grit and determination in those 1-goal games and mix it with their new goal-scoring talent, this can easily be a team that puts up 95-plus points. I am almost all in on the Capitals. Do not be surprised if they have a third team in the
Okay. Tim, you're number 3.
I have the New Jersey Devils in my third spot for the Metropolitan Division. Like you guys said, they're a shoo-in for the playoffs for me this year. I think that the hype they've been getting is a little bit much because they haven't, again, shown anything. Markstrom, if anything, has taken regression from his prime years in 2019, 2020. He hasn't been any better. So the problem is your goaltending issue. I don't know if that's going to be stable. That's very much a question mark for me. But yeah, they're shooing for the playoffs. I think the third spot's good for them.
All right. Anybody have teams in the wild card in the Metro? Yes.
It's going to be. I mean, the race last year was just. Well, you can share yours first, obviously, because you do have the latest position.
I have the New York Islanders as my second wild card team.
Love it.
Okay, you're.
We gotta get there. We gotta get there.
We gotta get there.
What are you doing? This eager motherfucker over here. We gotta get there.
We gotta get there. We gotta get there. It's a slightly modified group.
It's really tricky because you look at last year and it was so close. And the teams that weren't close are right back in the mix. Like New Jersey, like Detroit, like Buffalo, like they're right back in the mix. So in Pittsburgh as well, Philly could be there. Right? It's going to be really close. This is probably the toughest pick that we're going to have all conversation. Sorry, I do just get news that Raffier is expected to miss the rest of the season.
Yes. And if we're talking about other stuff, the Detroit Tigers took down the Guardians in Game 2.
Yeah, saw that too. It's probably without a doubt the hardest spot to predict the second one in the Eastern Conference. If I just had to throw a name at the board, it would probably be the New Jersey Devils. So I'm going to lock that in for the second one. So not by much. I mean, the first and second wild card, and the first team is going to be separated by 2 or 3 points in the season.
All right. Anyway,
I have a wild card. Wild card 1, actually. Carolina Hurricanes. This is going to be the first year they're going to show a little regression. They lost a ton of people, and I don't think people understand how much of a factor that is to team chemistry and everything. I don't think it's really that much of a replacement for them this year. Plus, they're super injury prone, so I don't know how much trust you can put in any of these guys to really finish out a full season. They're not as deep as they used to be. They're getting older. I think this is a step back for them. It didn't happen last year. I don't think it's going to happen this year.
All right. Just want to touch up on some outside looking in teams in the Metro, the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's just they have it's a Hall of Fame roster.
Crosby's going to have a hell of a year, let me tell you.
But Crosby's going to have a hell of a year. But the thing is,
maybe a hard year, maybe.
They're not.
That'd be crazy.
The roster. That'd be
the
insane.
Penguins, but
They got to make the playoffs. Yeah, they make the playoffs.
They got to get in the top 3. No, wild card is not going to go. Let's see if but still, you bring up a perfect point. Like Pittsburgh last year, everybody counted again. Like I saw predictions putting them next to Columbus at the bottom of the Metro, but there they are at the end, playing for their lives, and they end up losing the goddamn playoff race because they lose to Chicago in the last game of the season. So again, this is going to be. I went into last year saying the same thing. It's the tightest race in the entire league. Is that spot, that second wild card spot in the Metropolitan and Atlantic divisions?
Yes. Another outside looking in team I had was Washington, but you kind of touched up on that. I just think goaltending's an issue. I'm sorry.
I can't trust that duo at all.
No,
I can't trust it. I can't trust it.
Take and taste it.
But that's a lot of faith in Ovechkin. And the team is old. And Dylan Strome was their top point getter last year. Like, you're really like, what is that? I mean, that's not a superstar or an all-star.
But that's the thing, though, is that they made the playoffs with Dylan Strome as their top point scorer. And look how close the race was. Like, that's the thing. Like, the Capitals were in the mix last year, and they got better in the offseason. See, that's why I have no choice but to make that tip. That's got to be the spot.
All right, well, if then that's your hot take.
Okay. Does anybody have other award for teams that we're not going to mention? Because I do have one player that's going to win an award in the Metro.
Well, I have an award that's not a player. I think Patrick Waugh wins the Jack Adams. But you guys are just going to call me crazy and biased. But if the Isles were the second in the Metro, then I think he wins the Jack Adams easy.
If the Caps go from being ranked on ESPN's preseason ranking at 20 to being third in the Metro,
that would be, yes.
It could easily be up there for Jack Adams as well. But like, is it impossible to say Ovechkin, Rock, Richard? Is it impossible?
I don't hate it. You know what? I don't hate that at all. But like
40,
it's a miracle.
Crazy.
It's a miracle.
Crazy. That'd be kind of crazy.
I actually do have an award, and it's Matvei Michkov to win the Calder Trophy. We've been hearing so much about this kid. Yeah, but we've been hearing so much about this kid, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Prove it. I'm like, prove it at this point.
Yeah.
Because exactly. I just think that his I'm picking just based off of potential. I know he's no Celebrini, but I mean, if he's going to be competing, because with how wide open the Metro is right now, if he's going to be on a team competing for a playoff spot, that counts for a lot of votes. We know San Jose is not really. Come on,
let's not. Hold on. Let's not put Philly in a playoff conversation right now. That collapse they had last year in this team's goaltending situation has gone much worse.
No, they're out.
I don't know.
Philly's out. But I don't know. Right. Let's move on. We got to start. We got to speed this up, gentlemen.
Oh, we got 30 minutes.
We do.
All right, here we go. Atlantic Division. My number one team. I actually have this team winning the President's Trophy. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Berube. Lord.
Oh yeah, baby.
I have them at one too, baby. I have them at one. Not the President's Trophy. Not the President's Trophy, but I have them at one.
Craig Berube brings like this no nonsense approach that they so desperately needed. They finally have a defensive stability by signing Tanev and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. They're gonna.
OEL's a stud. Stop. I don't even like Toronto, and he's a stud.
They're gonna churn out a 100-point season like it's nothing. It's a matter of how far do they go in the playoffs,
and that's gonna be nowhere.
They have. Who knows?
Listen, Matthews' captaincy. This team, he's gonna be motivated. He might win the Hart for God's sakes, but he gets to see he's gonna go. I don't know. I'm with you, Stan.
Just because you brought up Toronto, I think we need to address it because we talked a little bit in the Metro about goaltending issues and how the Flyers have goaltending problems, but are we really going to look at Joseph Woll taking a team to the first place position?
It's the regular season. If you can outscore teams in the regular season, you could win games. It's not the playoffs.
Stanov is great, but I think he's an overside teams.
Oh, they
Teams-
completely overpaid for him. The first 2 years of that
But
deal
they
are going to work
needed
out.
they needed him.
They needed it. I get it. But everyone's like, oh, this is the best time in the offseason. Whatever. OEL, they're going to force that guy to play 26 minutes a night, and his knees are going to fall.
He went crazy against Draisaitl. What? I don't know. I don't know.
So, I think the Leafs just it's a little crazy to put them in number one, considering that they have not had like a stellar regular season in a while. Like they have not had a really good regular season in a long time. Like Matthews has been great, but give me like
if Marner's done being a bitch, they can win games.
Right, exactly,
That's it.
Exactly.
Well,
Yes.
Matthews is the captain now. Let's see what happens.
Here we go.
I don't know.
So Jake, who's your number one in the Atlantic?
It's the Florida Panthers. I mean, they
Bonkers.
lost. Well, I mean, listen, like they're just the type of team where they can lose so many guys, and it just doesn't matter. He's coaching the NHL.
There you go.
So they lose Ryan Lomberg, who was a dog. They lose Brandon Montour, who was a dog. They lose OEL, who was a dog.
This guy.
But I think.
Wait, you're saying OEL's a freaking dog when you're saying his knees are gonna fall off?
You gotta watch the screen, brother. Ooh, what is this?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
They lose all their defense. So you're just like, oh, they lose all their defensemen, they'll be fine. I don't know. I can't see that. I just can't see it.
No, they didn't. They Schmidt. They brought in
Forsling.
I think it's great. Another year of Forsling. Ekblad is actually healthy, which is kind of crazy. I don't see a situation where Florida does not win the division. Now, the only thing is now Boston got the whole Swayman thing out of the way. The season's about to start. They let it go on for too long. I get it. I think Florida is my uncontested, undisputed team.
Well, they're being stayed number 2, so we don't need to go over them again for the sake of time.
For the sake of time, but I'll just say my reasoning, and I feel like it's going to be Tim's reasoning as well. It's just so many losses in free agency, and other teams.
It's the same reason for Carolina.
Other teams are getting better.
We've said that. Okay. We sound like broken records though, with the whole on paper.
So I'm assuming you're number 2, Jake.
Number 2. I really like Tampa this year. I think the whole Stamkos thing is tricky because I think the way they handled it wasn't great. I think bringing Jake Ensel, Jake Ensel's, we all can agree.
But do you think that it moves the needle for him? Do you think that it moves like?
It's not the fact that it moves the needle. I really like them. I don't know about second place in that division. I thought about it for a while just because they had a lot. If you look back at their season, and I was watching a little bit of tape, like they lost a lot of games they should have won. It was just a false belief, and I don't know, like maybe Stamkos leaving kind of just makes them kind of breathe a sigh of relief. They get to move on to a new chapter with Gensel. Yes, they lost Sergachev, which wasn't great. They lost Henry, another player in their depth, but they bring back Ryan McDonough. They get Cam Atkinson to bring a little bit more speed to the offense. They're one of the fastest teams in the NHL with Braden Point leading the Chargers. Nikita Kucherov, honestly, I'm just gonna say that's my trophy pick.
Ooh.
So I have Tampa Lightning, not a 2, but I'll go safe. I'm gonna play the Toronto Maple Leafs in the second position.
Okay. You bring up okay. Tim.
I have Tampa at 3. I don't know if you have Tampa at 3, Stan.
I have Tampa as my first wild card. I kind of was arguing with myself over where to put Boston and Tampa.
Okay, well, I just want to just ask Jake because last year, I mean, the power play was at what, like 32%.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's sustainable going into this season? I don't know if that's just you could replicate a 32% power play percentage, and
you're gonna get regression. Like you lose Stamkos, which is but you still have the Kucherov connection on the right side, and you just put Gensel onto the power play. You lose that one time, which 32% is crazy. I think it drops down to probably like worst case scenario, you go down to like 24, 25, but they're still elite. Like you put in front, you put freaking what's his name, Nick Paul in front of the net like they did last year, and you just let Edmund rip it. It's automatic for them. So Vasilevsky is still in that. He's top 3 goalie in the NHL. play number one. So I want to have them. It's either for me, like with Tampa, I know we're talking about them a lot now. It's either they finish second or they first one. Like I don't know. Like I have such a tough time putting them ahead of Toronto, Boston. I don't know if they fit in the middle there. Do they go? It's so weird between those three. That's why I have Florida one, just because I think they're a little bit of a tier ahead of those other three.
All right, let's get to Boston. I have Boston at third.
Mm-hmm.
They had to improve to keep up, and it may have been due to some overpays for Zadorov and Lindholm. But as long as Pasternak and Swayman stay healthy, I think that they are bar not a playoff team.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the Lindholm Zadorov thing is going to be interesting. Like the pressure on them is huge, right? You move on from Jake Zaretsky, who's been there forever. You move on from Linus Ullmark, who's been there for a while. They moved on from before he even they signed him, which is crazy. Matt Grizzlick's time, he was there for a while, and so it's going to be interesting to see how those two match. And I mean, to get out to a good start, or those trains are going to get on quick, and it could get ugly really fast. I remember in my prediction last season, I had the Bruins missing the playoffs because I just thought that they were going to get into a too big a hole with the Martin injury and Bergeron being gone. I thought that they were going to go off to a rough start, and it turns out they started playing great to begin the season. So the Bruins are an anomaly to me. I think it's going to be up to those two new star players to get into the lineup and make it quick. But again, it could get ugly. So I also have the Bruins at 3. It's again like the flip flopping between those three teams outside of Florida. It's just so tricky for me. The safe play is Florida, Toronto, Boston.
Tim, you're number 3. I'm assuming it's Boston or Tampa.
It's Tampa. Tampa's my number 3. And then
do you
I
have
have
anyone on
Boston
the
as my
wild card?
Wild card 2, actually. I have Carolina ahead of them. But yeah, I think it's gonna be very close. I like you guys said. Boston upgraded. It just that division's so competitive that it really could finish any which way. And I just think Boston.
So where are the Devils in your playoff picture?
They're third in the Metro.
So it would be Rangers, Islanders, Devils, Hurricanes, or Boston.
Yeah.
Okay. My outside looking in, I put down Buffalo.
Wait, hang on.
Oh shit. Well, he's just
Toronto. I'm confused.
Florida.
Toronto, Florida, Tampa.
There's a team missing. No.
Okay. All right. Outside looking in, I had Buffalo. I think that Lindy Ruff hire was horrible. Horrible.
Bro,
like,
I'm so. Can we stop this? Can we stop kidding ourselves? They're not. We know they're not making the playoffs.
No, we know. I'm just saying. Like, we need to bring up a point. Anytime I get to shit on Lindy Ruff, I'm going to take the opportunity to do that.
Outside looking in is just a little bit much to me. I think they're more like way outside.
Tim. It's just a phrase.
They're in the parking lot watching the game. Like that's what they're doing.
It's just a phrase. And then another one
Lindy Ruff is bad.
Yeah, and then another one I have Ottawa. It's a great lineup on paper as it is every year. But I'm telling you right now, one injury to one star player is going to expose that depth.
They don't need an injury. They're just bad.
They're just bad. Yeah,
right here.
Yeah,
it's just the Atlantic's so loaded.
All right, let's go out west to the Central. My number 1 team in the Central, and this is probably going to be the best team in the Western Conference. I have the Dallas Stars. Every fan base in the National Hockey League should envy what the Dallas Stars have. Youth, star power, veterans, depth.
Pretty good contracts, too.
What more do you want? They should remain at the top of the Central and are as strong as a pick as any to win the Stanley Cup. They have to jump over that conference final hurdle first, but I think that they're capable enough of. I think they're more than capable enough of doing that.
100%.
Yeah, it's tricky. Like they did lose a lot of depth pieces. To name a few, Joe Pavelski retired, Chris Tanev on defense, Radek Faksa, who scored not a lot of goals, a lot of clutch goals last season. Sam Steele had a lot of speed for them down the middle of the ice. So I think. You look at them, they bring in Matt Dumba, they bring in that prick Brendan Smith. Colin
Also-
Blackwell for a little bit of grit
Yeah,
in the
and
bottom six.
all they got to do is plug those holes because they have these 22, 23, 24-year-olds that are blooming into stars. So you really don't need it to be great.
Wyatt Johnson could easily be a 70 plus points.
He could win the Rocket.
yeah.
Yeah, he's nuts. The kid's
So could
Can we talk
Robinson.
can we talk about the goalie tandem too?
Unbelievable.
I feel like
yeah.
unbelievable.
You want to hear this?
Ottinger and
Let me
Smith.
get to this. So I have Ottinger winning the Vezina, and I have this team winning the President's Trophy. That's
Wow.
my two pick. Here.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Jake,
Wow.
anything else on the Stars?
No, I think Dallas is my number one pick. I wanted to go Colorado. I definitely wanted to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're still here.
So I wanted to go Colorado, but I think I don't know. I think Dallas
Too many
just,
off ice issues.
Yeah, but like hopefully Landeskog comes back for them. But I like Dallas as first in this.
All right, my number 2. I'm buying the hype, and you will see how big I'm buying the hype. I have the Nashville Predators as my number 2 team. They add Jonathan Marchessault, they add Luke Schenn, Brady Shea, Steven Stamkos. I have 2 award winners from this team. I have Roman Josi to win the Norris, and I have Jussi Saros to win the Vezina.
I
For
will
Roman
back you. I will actually. You know what, gentlemen, and Tim, I know you like your Noah Dobson, and I think he's a great player as well.
Oh, I picked it. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Noah
That's
Dobson for
gotta be our
Norris.
squad ride. Roman Josi Norris has got to be our squad ride.
He's leading a power play that includes Stamkos, O'Reilly, Forsberg, and Marchessault.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the names. Trust me, Barry
He's gonna
Trotz built a great
feast.
team, and I think they're third. I think they're going to be third in this division, but
Mhm.
this Noah Dobson pick for some reason is just like speaking to me, and I really think he's going to get it this year.
I mean, let's all. Nope.
Honestly, Tim, I'm sorry, Stan. I really like Nashville in that second spot. The more that you say, it's going to take a lot of show me for me to believe at the beginning of the season that Nashville can actually pick on that second spot. They're so much fun. Like they're such a fun team.
Smashville's. I love it. They're going to be so rowdy.
You got one of the most fire players in the NHL, Tommy Novak. I believe we saw it preseason. First line center.
Woo!
With Steven Stamkos.
I also love.
Crazy.
I also want to mention. I also love Luke Evangelista. By the way, I think he's gonna be a stud.
So we'll see. I mean, like they got Andrew Burnett, who is one of the most underrated coaches in the league. Obviously, who's great with the Devils.
I feel like we need to take the underrated tag off of him
Sooner
rather than later.
Well, just because, like, I mean, if you look around the league, there's a lot of coaches who are shadowing him. Like we're talking right here last year. You get Craig Berube back in Toronto. You get Sheldon Keefe in New Jersey. So there's a lot of coaches in there that kind of overshadow Andrew Burnett. But I think he'll show that he's one of the best in the season. I'm actually, you know what? I hate to do this because I love Colorado. I think they're such an exciting team. But you're giving me a reason to go against Alexander Georgiev. So I'm absolutely ride with you in Nashville.
Well,
Okay.
let me get, just for the sake of time, let me run through my 2 and 3 here because you're going to be confused and it's a little off the rails, but I'll explain myself. Actually, probably not off the rails. I think that makes total sense. I have Winnipeg actually at second in this division.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're a fantastic regular season team. Connor Hellebuyck's coming off a Vezina year. I know it didn't show up in the playoffs, but we're not talking about the playoffs. We're talking about the regular season. This team continually puts up points, and I think they're going to be a shoo-in for that second spot. But in my third spot, I have Nashville. I like what you guys said. I love what they set up. They got to show me a little bit first, but I think they're in a great spot. And that puts Colorado actually in a wild card situation for me. So I have Colorado as my wild card 1 in the Western Conference.
Okay, I have Colorado as my 3. This feels like the same team as last year, with the addition of some, like, hey, maybe we could find a diamond.
Top heavy, Nichushkin is a question mark. Landeskog's a question mark.
They're a tricky team. They're definitely
Yes.
like you could argue that they're a top team in the NHL, and you could argue that they're a top 12 team in the NHL.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And then
again, it's like you got good coaching over there. You got one of the best leaders in the NHL, and real Landeskog possibly too. So
yes.
we'll see.
And then, Tim, you mentioned Winnipeg. I have them as my wild card 1 in the Western Conference. If what's the new coach's name? I don't want to like mispronounce anything because you know me. I'm the Arniel.
It's not Scott O'Neill, is it?
Scott Arniel. Yeah, there you go.
Is Scott O'Neill really the head coach of the?
Yes,
the
he is the head.
That's
Yes, he is.
crazy.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
Remember, he used to be the assistant for the Rangers. He used to be on
Yeah, so-
Tortorella's crew. That's
Oh,
sick.
boy.
That's cool. I didn't know
If-
that. Wow.
If
Good
he's
fun
able
fact.
to squeeze out more offense out
He
of this
will.
group,
No, I didn't know that.
and Connor Hellebuck turns into an actual punctual
Perfetti's
goaltender
gonna
in
have
the
a year.
postseason. There's no reason I can see Winnipeg making it out of the second round.
Is it and like as good as Dallas is, and this is going to sound ridiculous, and we really don't have much time, and I know I'm going a little tangent here, but with the way Winnipeg plays in the regular season and how good their roster is on paper, is it crazy if they win the division? Is that like even because
No, definitely not.
if Hellebuck outplays everyone again, yeah,
Because
I mean,
Winnipeg is your prototypical regular season team. They are. They're a regular season.
they're the
team.
Leafs of the Western Conference.
They are. Kyle Connor goes far.
Kyle Connor's one of the most underrated players in the league. He's fantastic, by the way.
He's sick. They still have Ehlers. They still have Scheifele. They still have Josh Morrissey, who is a Norris candidate.
Perfetti's going to have a year, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's nasty as well. So I don't know. Like you're right. Like that could definitely be filed under the hot take category for sure. But it's definitely not out of the question. It's just now like the Central is having the same dilemma that you're seeing in the Metro, where you have 4 teams now that are vying for that top spot. Like you could argue that Colorado, Dallas, Nashville, and Winnipeg all have the goaltending, forward, and defensive depth to make a run at that first spot in the Central. It's gonna be fun to see.
It's time for the squad ride. It's time for the squad ride. So this team,
Is it the Cup?
what?
Is it?
It is not the Cup.
What is it?
I actually have both of my wildcard teams in the Central. And we all know my Vancouver pick from last year where I had them in the second wildcard spot. Yeah, that's right. I have the Utah Hockey Club sneaking out of that second wildcard spot. And do not sleep on me. Do not sleep on me. You all called me an idiot.
This guy's
when I
riding
said
one
Vancouver.
hot take. Let's take a deep
No,
breath,
no.
all right?
No. I'm
Wait,
going to say it right
let
now.
me-
There is finally, there's a glimmer of hope for this organization. They are led by Clayton Keller. The only loss that they had as an organization, was the state of Arizona. Like, come on. Let's all be honest. Clayton Keller registered more than 60 points
No.
this season.
Honestly,
We just talked about four. We just talked about 4 teams that could possibly win a division, and you don't have one of them in a wild card spot. And you're telling me you got 2 teams that in the Pacific. You're telling me Utah's better than LA, potentially better than Vegas.
LA's
You're gonna tell me
slow and old.
St. Louis is a million times better.
Wait, you're saying? Wait, I think we're having a misunderstanding here. Are you saying that I have Utah in my top 3?
No, you have Utah on the wild card. I think that's nuts.
Oh, yes. Call me nuts.
The Utah Hockey Club or the Arizona Coyotes that purchase a new skin from the item shop.
They don't even have a stadium yet. I mean, where are they even playing?
I can't.
They're playing where the Jazz play. They have a stadium.
They have an arena. They do.
They have an arena.
I will say though, with Utah, I want to see it. I think they're going to get a lot of fans like Seattle did. I think that first year there could be some magic there. They're not an expansion team, but there could be some magic. But I'm not buying Utah. They're on the outside looking in. They're a team that just they got to get a year of some growth.
Can I spit? I think I like the young talent. I like Clayton Keller. I love Logan Cooley, Josh Doan, Dylan Gunter. We have to be. They also added experienced Stanley Cup winning talent in Sergachev, in Cole, and Kevin Stenlund as well.
Yeah.
And then added on
John
with
Marino.
that. Yes, John Marino as well. Added on with that, Connor Ingram was tied for the league lead in shutouts last season.
Yeah, he's still a dog. He's good.
He's still a dog.
They got Dirty. Listen. I don't hate your pick, but I'm not buying the hype on Utah.
Why I hate your pick is because not every guy doesn't make that leap in the same season. Like that's a miracle.
No, you can't.
And you're banking on like 11 guys to make a substantial
11
leap.
guys.
Yeah, like
I'm not saying. Oh, wait. You think I'm going to say that Sergachev deserves a leap? Like the guy's a
no,
veteran.
but don't. How old's Don't? He's like 24 years old. Other Logan Cooley. Logan Cooley really hasn't done much in the NHL. I don't know if he takes that secondary jump yet. Like a guy like Cole Caulfield really took a little while to settle in. Same with Slavkovsky. So I don't know if he takes that immediate jump.
We'll see.
And is Shane Wright even on the team? I mean, he's a terrible skater.
Shane Wright, Seattle.
Shane Wright, Seattle.
Oh my God, never mind. Now I'm getting them confused.
You're fine.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. But yeah, no, that Central Division is going to be tight. I think it's just those 4 teams and nobody else. I don't like St. Louis. I think Minnesota is just on the outside looking in again.
Until those contracts are up.
Well, yeah, they're actually up at the end of the season. They're done paying Suter and Parise after this year. And then I think with Chicago, I think they're going to be signing with Norton. And they actually added some depth pieces. They added pieces that are just going to help them like develop those young players. Like I think they brought in Martinez and all those guys. So it should be interesting. But yeah, let's stick to those top 4. Unfortunately, Stan, I will not be riding.
Well, I tried. Anyway, and you all will be laughing now.
I'll be laughing later.
We'll see. Let's go to the Pacific. My number 1, I have Edmonton.
Yep.
I feel like it's a pretty clear consensus there, Jake. Edmonton.
He's going to say the Canucks.
No.
Oh.
Vegas?
No. The Oilers definitely the first team in that division for sure.
Okay.
I think they're the Cup favorite, and rightfully so. It's very tough for me to get by the end. But like I said, Ovechkin. But my actual Rocket Richard pick was in this division, so we're gonna narrow it down.
Is it Eichel? The Ike Show?
Yeah, this guy's sharp. I like this.
Yeah, I figured.
It is. That's my Richard pick.
I'm riding that with you.
Yeah, I really like him.
All right, fuck it.
Marchessault leaves that team. There's got to be more goals put on the table, and I think a lot of those are going to go to Jack Eichel. He had a really nice year last year. No injuries last year. He was healthy.
I love Jack Eichel. I love
just
him.
move into it. That's my second team in the division. I think Vegas.
Ooh,
that's my third. I love them. I love them this year.
I think they lost a lot. They lost Potter. They lost Manta. They lost Marchessault. They lost Martinez. Yeah, I just think this is a next man team. I really like the way that they just go about things in Vegas. They got great fans. The only thing holding them back is Ilya Samsonov. That could be an issue.
That could be a problem.
But could you imagine though, little Aiden Hill coming along like he always does? He comes in, he just throws a couple wins, he sprinkles in a couple 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game winning streaks. This Vegas team
sounds like something he's gonna do.
It could be deadly. We'll see.
All right, my number 2.
Edmonton, Vegas.
Is that the squad ride? Squad rides, Rocket Richard, Ike Show.
I like Nashville. I really do like the Nashville squad.
Yeah, the
All
Roman Yossi one.
All right. Yeah.
Roman.
We can do a couple.
We
Nashville
can do
over
a
points?
few.
We can do some.
All right, we'll roll through
Well,
it.
second, I think Nashville's second in the division. That's got to be at least.
Well,
Colorado's going to have at least 5, 6. Right?
The thing is, we don't need to come up with something now because, there's no pressure.
For the sake of time, let's
That's
go. We got to get to the Central.
Yes, that's. We already did the Central.
Oh, I'm all the Pacific, dude.
Yes.
Jesus, I'm losing track.
So I only have.
I took
3
a 2-hour
teams.
test before this, Jake. I'm off the rails here.
I have only 3 teams in the Pacific going to the playoffs: Edmonton, Vancouver, Vegas. Edmonton, they add Arvidsson and Jeff Skinner. I think that's an outstanding add. They do lose a little bit of defensive depth. The goaltending is still shaky, but this division, it's. I think it's one of the more weaker ones in the league, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, the bottom teams are bad.
Yeah, they're bad. They're very bad.
Real bad.
Yeah, and now Evan Bouchard's
know.
coming to his own right now. Like they're set. They're set.
Yeah.
This is the year. I know last year was kind of their shot for the year, but this is the year.
Zinger.
Yeah, I think Edmonton, Vegas, Vancouver is like the public pick. I mean, actually, no, it's not, because Vegas being in second would not be very public.
Yeah, Edmonton, Vancouver, Vegas is definitely the public pick. That's what I have.
No, I don't know. Like, I think LA is definitely going to be competing for that second.
I think they're in. They always make the wild card.
Yeah, they do.
And you know what? Call me crazy here. I have winning the Selkie. I actually have Anze Kopitar. I think
It's not crazy.
if
It's
they make
not.
the wild card,
He's always up there.
Okay.
Is he better than Barkov though? That's the
well,
thing. Like, is he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
I
know?
think he's shooing for a good year here.
That's fair.
I just want to talk about the Kings because they're one of my outside looking in.
Yeah, me
And it's
too.
just
Honestly, me too. I don't know.
like
I'm not buying the Kings this year again.
I'm not buying, and it comes down to the goaltending. Like Darcy Kemper's 35 years old. If he gets hurt, I know. If he gets hurt, you got to rely on David Rittich or Phoenix Copley, who are far from like.
Phoenix Copley's a dog.
Far.
Is Kim Talbot still there?
No,
Yeah.
he's done. I thought he
He's
retired.
in Detroit. No, he's in Detroit.
Yeah, he's in
right.
Detroit. Yeah. But I just think it's just like the core.
Detroit, which is kind of crazy.
I don't like them. They're not making the playoffs either.
I don't like them.
Detroit won.
That's absurd.
The guys are playing with
That's
way
absurd.
too much hype. It hasn't worked yet.
No, I think you're right. Like, I don't know.
The core.
This isn't the Rangers, though. You can't just plug
oh.
Tarasenko in like the third line and it works.
Okay. The core in LA is aging. Kopitar, Doughty.
Doughty's out for a while, too.
Yeah, he's out for a while. I do like Adrian Kempe and Kevin Fiala.
Fiala?
But
Fiala's a stud.
But they don't move the needle. Like they don't
They move the needle. They move the needle enough for me to put them in the wild card too.
I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I honestly agree because
I don't value Utah. Do you value Utah? It's those 4 teams.
Well, you told me. I value Utah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm calling you an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's really just about eliminating. You could eliminate San Jose. You could probably eliminate Calgary. Probably eliminate Anaheim. And then Chicago's out too. Minnesota could be there. St. Louis could be there. Utah could be there.
Right, but of all the teams that could be there, the Kings are most likely to be
I
there.
agree. Yeah, no, I do agree. I think maybe Seattle will compete as well. But yeah, I would say I think we're all pretty kind of close on the Pacific and Central divisions in terms of.
Come on.
Yeah.
Just you'll
Listen,
see.
I can't hate it because of Vancouver, and everyone was so down at the start of the year because of just Patterson and what was he going to do? Dancy Miller was getting older. Blockbuster couldn't score for his life. Horvath was gone. So
That's fair. That's fair.
And it's hit the Utah with a grain of salt.
All right, real quick. We got about 5 minutes. Stanley Cup pick. Who are they beating? Who's beating who?
You're right.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, floor is yours, Buster.
I got. Give me Dallas over. I'm gonna go with Dallas over. I
Your
like
own team?
I don't.
Easy.
Well, I picked I picked
2-year streak.
I have Isles over the Stars. I thought you'd have the same thing.
Bro.
I picked the Hurricanes over the I picked the Stars over the Hurricanes last year.
No, you're.
Oh wait,
no,
I actually
no,
take
no.
that back. I went off the board here.
No.
I had the Preds and Isles, and the Isles won.
Well, no.
So that's my off the board.
Our
Barry
playoff
Trotz
picks
versus
are
old
the
team.
Rangers. Every year for our playoff preview, I take the Rangers. The regular season preview is different because last year I took the. Yes, so don't. Whenever I go into a season with expectations low, good things happen. So think of this as a good way. Think of it as a good thing. Oh, I froze.
This is year 3, and it's still incredible to me your lack of Wi-Fi.
The 8-bit baby.
Really? Wow. All right.
It's all
Year-
right.
Wow.
So
Yeah, whatever. There's
okay,
so much.
You said Dallas over.
I want to say. Give me Dallas over Florida. I don't know. That's so stupid of me to say because it's just I don't see Toronto. I don't see Boston.
I see the Isles.
No, you don't. Give me Dallas in 6.
Listen, with the Mets got going on right now, I can't not, hope. It seems like everything's going right, other than last night, but I don't want to get into that.
So McDavid got a taste. He took a big chunk out of the Stanley Cup pie, and that's the scariest thing to me as a Ranger fan because the Rangers could go 1-2-3 in the East, 4-4-4 sweep, 12-0 going to the Stanley Cup playoffs, points to the Stanley Cup final, it does not matter if that man is waiting for them in the final. So, with that being said, my Stanley Cup pick non-bias is the Edmonton Oilers over the New York Rangers in the Stanley Cup final, just because I really think that that's like the meme when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. I just like
non-biased.
As Rangers could be. Well, like think about it. A lot of people
You're just saying non-biased just because you're picking the other team to beat the Rangers, but in your head, you think the Rangers are going to win.
Well, in my opinion, though, like it's very very hard to beat a team twice, and if the Rangers and the Panthers meet again in the conference final, I think the Rangers get the number. And if I look around in the Atlantic Division, even in the Metro side of things too, like I just with the Rangers and what they have, I don't really see them being stopped again in the East this time. It's just really that whole Edmonton thing. That was the thing last year. Like the Rangers were going to have to work their tail off to beat Florida, and I knew that if they had to play Edmonton, I would not have been able to watch a single game. There's no way. Stanley Cup final with David against my favorite team? No, absolutely not. That's like burning all my childhood toys. No, I could never do it. So yeah, so I think Edmonton over the Rangers. Just regular season. That's not.
Tim.
I mean, you really want to get into mine? It's never going to change.
Yeah. All right. All right.
I really should be standing on business, but
I will never not stand on business. Full year of Patty Watt. We're coming different. Barzy's gonna have 100 points. It's only going up.
W.
I mean, I will not be shocked if Barzal has like a career year in scoring. I'll give you that.
Like 70 assists? Nah, that'd be crazy, but
God, that'd be absurd. All right.
I mean, his rookie year, he had like 70. He only scored like 19 goals.
Again, that's insane. All right. 3 more minutes of the Yankee game. All right, so we did it.
Hooray!
Yeah, we did it. Hooray!
Force this in.
It's so funny. We did it.
I think really like just to wrap things up, it's the hardest thing to do. We do it every year. We didn't even pick Calder. You pick Calder. Calder, by the way, I think
I picked the Calder.
I like celebrating. I think he's so underrated. I mean, going into the draft, he was undisputed number 1 overall pick, and now this guy Mitch Cow comes along. So I like Celebrini at his odds not being number 1. I'm going to take that along. But just going into the season, it's just the weather has been fantastic. The fall air is upon us. It's just a great time. Like I've been looking forward to this Rangers Penguins game for months. I mean, it's a perfect spot. TNT game, prime time. Riley Smith return. Giving Riley Smith anytime goal scorer Wednesday night. I think that's just the most perfect time.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm really excited for the season.
Crosby hat trick.
Great year. Tim, really good. I love Duclair. He's always been a favorite player of mine.
Barzy 5 points the other night. I didn't forgot to bring that one up.
I already told you, Tim. I told you both you guys that Barzal played against the Rangers his entire career.
He'd be the greatest player on earth.
You know that picture of Carey Price when he's standing in front of all the trophies after like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. This is always one of my favorite times of the year talking to you guys about this stuff. I love it. Anything else you guys have? That's a wrap.
I mean, Tim, you got anything?
Let's go Mets.
It's tough, right? It's so hard to get excited for hockey right now just because of how
yeah.
It's so good.
I can't even focus. Like, the Mets are killing me. Yeah,
Tim texted me today. He was like, thank God I got this day off.
I mean, we could have gotten
7 days straight, Stan.
And to all you viewers who have stuck with us through this, who are probably focused on things.
We've done this for 2 hours before.
Yes. Yeah, we did this for 2 hours last year.
Right. And so that's the thing. We're planning
and somehow I'm finding out now that my Wi-Fi has sucked for the past 3 years, when meanwhile Tim couldn't be on camera for a whole year.
Things change. I was open and honest.
That's true. Listen, again, we planned this in. We did it for you guys. We did it for the people. We did it for this podcast because we love you guys. I love coming on here. I know we got the Mets. I know we got the Yankees. Football's on. I get it. But hockey is on. It's ready. We're here. Let's go. Monday, October 7th. Going new page tomorrow morning. Hockey is back.
You going to a Yankee game?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I'm trying to save my money for sitting in the bleachers next year.
That is true.
My
All
dad
right.
and brother are going on Wednesday, Stan.
Ooh. All right. Jake, we want to thank you for coming on as always. Year 3. Year 3. Year 3.
Go. Let's
Tradition.
Go, baby.
We'll see you with the we'll see you with the deadline, baby.
I'll be here. You know I'm really waiting. I'm sorry, too. That is crap.
Hopefully Matt can join us.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. We have a lot to
Well,
comment on.
it's a question mark.
Yes.
So,
Always. All right, Jake. Thank you as always.
thanks, guys.